Hi, everybody. It's Audrey from CryptoChicks, streaming you live from Blockchain 101 from Ether Denver. Today, we're talking about DeFi, the hot topic in cryptocurrency, and I'm with two amazing people in this space. Eric Gu, who is a major angel FinTech investor and founder and CEO of the Metaverse Foundation, and Alan Ta, who is the head of product for an amazing project coming out of Vietnam called Rosan Finance. Hi, guys.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Hello, how are you? This is Eric.
Hi. So why don't you guys do a quick intro, starting with Eric? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I started in this crypto space. All you people prefer blockchain space since 2013, early 2013. So being through boom and bust of this space. It has been fun. So a little bit about myself. So I call myself a crypto investor. So I participated quite a bit of startup projects, namely early BitShares, Ethereum, Binance, Neo, those kind of a project that I was an angel investor. And also I started my own project called Metaverse. If you search for ETP that on CoinMarketCap, you will find that project. So I'm in this new wave up. We know we're in the big boom market. I will call it the DeFi boom this time. I'm an investor, so if you have a good project profile deck, just send it over.
And I got to vouch for that. Eric is very open and amazing to talk to in regards to business in this space. Just knows just so much about it. Clubhouse, amazing to get caught in a room with him because life goes on and I'm in Clubhouse there with Eric just listening. So there you go. All right, Alan, do a brief intro about yourself.
Yes, so I'm actually from Toronto and I'm Canadian. I've been doing IT consulting for many years for big enterprises and government. And then I fell in love with blockchain 2016. I went to a session at a federal government event. And then after that, I spent 6 months reading and I fell in love with it. And then so I then quit my job and I started playing with crypto. And then I said, I kind of don't like Canada because it's kind of cold.
What?
So I moved to Vietnam. Yeah, so got lost in the crypto space. And once you go crypto, you can't go back to traditional IT.
That's right. All right, so the topic today is DeFi, and some people define it differently. So starting with Eric, how would you personally and quickly define decentralized finance?
My definition of DeFi is pretty broad. I mean, probably a lot of people disagree with me, but my definition of DeFi is really something not finance. It's really alternative finance, really. So anything not centralized finance, it's DeFi. So it's pretty broad. If you ask me the same question a year ago, I'll just tell you, there's no such thing as DeFi, just crypto, right? But nowadays, I did see the power of DeFi, the effect on the whole community. It's giant. So yeah, just keep it short. I mean, to me, any new project that is not centralized in the finance industry, I call it DeFi.
All right, Alan, how about you? How would you define DeFi?
So I think DeFi is programmable finance. So similar to the term, money Legos. It's because you can take this, you can take a loan, just the ability to take a loan and earn interest on borrowing money. And then, and it's like hyper inflated interest. So it's traditional finance on crack. I think that's probably the best way to say it, is traditional finance on crack, and then with software programming.
Right. It's finally a use case for all our tokens, right? So what we've been talking about for years in the crypto space is what is finally going to bring us to mass adoption. And what we're hearing lately, obviously, is the bull run, like Eric mentioned. Is DeFi the bridge? Is DeFi going to do it? What do you think, Eric?
To me, all those projects are experimental. So I'll probably say that 90% of the projects we see today will not exist in 5 years. So I'll say, yeah. Sorry, I have some background noise. Sorry, you go ahead. Let me turn off the background noise.
Alan, what do you think? Will it, like, if we continue on with what Eric was saying, I think we all agree there's a ton of projects coming out there. I think there's going to be pieces that move forward, right? Or certain companies will last 100%. I think there are some solid projects that are going to be around for a long time.
So I saw the tech bubble in '95, and everything went up. And then, of course, the strong survived, right?
Right.
So, and then, of course, we had the ICO phase where everybody got funded and went up, and then only the strong survived. And then the big bear market in 2018. So now we are in the DeFi, I wouldn't say bubble, but what's different with DeFi and the rest is actually DeFi makes money. Every DeFi project makes money. And if you're talking about, traditional or investors and VCs, what they look for is return. And these projects are making money. So that's why we are experiencing such an extended bull run. And I see this as a multi-year bull run, not just like what we experienced with ICO.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about just now. I was saying that I can actually agree with Alan. You just said what I want to say. I was saying that 90% of the company we see today probably going to go bust in 5 years. Just like 2017, you have a huge ICO hype. You saw hundreds of projects, but I would say more than 90% of those projects gone bust. But what we left now, we have Ethereum, we have Neo, we have Binance, right? Survive the strongest, or survive the fittest, whatever you call it. So, are you saying those busted projects are scam? No, I wouldn't call that. I still remember the .com bubble period. There was one company called Netscape. You would never call Netscape a scam. They're forerunners.
Right. They just didn't last. Right.
Yeah, they didn't last. They went bust. That's not that far. They're probably the best entrepreneur. They just don't know their finance better.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They should have known their finance better. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I know that detracts new users coming into this space is what I like to call crypto gymnastics. So just describing to somebody how to go buy something on, Rarible, which I love Rarible. And it's, well, you have to do this, go here, then move that over there, and then flip, and then this and that, and then do a triple lux and land, and there you are in Rarible or MetaMask. Do you think that's still a hindrance? Is there still that huge learning barrier that we're just not communicating clearly enough to the masses to get them to come in?
Yeah, it's getting there. If you look at the first generation automobile, the Ford, maybe Ford One, it doesn't come with airbag. There's no seatbelt, right? So we're the DeFi is that time, you know, it's not easy to use. It's not probably not safe. Guys, don't hate me. I'm just saying the DeFi is not safe at this moment. Just like the car that doesn't have airbag and seatbelt. Nowadays we think that's not acceptable, right? But we're here now. Are you saying that you should never drive a car that has no seat airbag? It is true now, but it is not true back then, right? So yes, you probably need to jump through the hoops to go through Compound or AAVE or just go out, you know, is buy an NFT on OpenSea. The other day I saw a really cool picture on OpenSea. I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna buy this one. So it cost me like $20. I think it's $20 US. I was like, yes, I like that. So when I click buy, it says $50 gas fee. No. As much as I like that picture, no. Yeah, anyway, back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you compare this to like the evolution of Microsoft, started out with MS-DOS, right? And then you had Windows 3.1, then you had Windows 95, and we thought that was cool. And now we're all using, you know, Windows XP was really good. And then of course, it just gets better.
That's
so
right.
The technology improves, the user experience improves. And then after that, you don't realize that you're using Windows anymore. You're just using it.
That's right. That's right. So one of the topics that was a hot topic a few years back, and it's now a hot topic back with DeFi, is the unbanked. And so tell me, how will DeFi help the unbanked?
It's a really interesting subject because we've been talking about unbanked since we know Bitcoin. Back then we were saying, oh, Bitcoin is going to help unbanked until 2016. When we find out, when you send out a small transaction on Bitcoin, it costs you like $20, right? And later on, there's one transaction I sent. It took about 2 days to arrive. Yeah, that was before. That was 2016 and before Segway, I think. Now it's much better, although it's still expensive. I don't think any unbanked people are gonna pay $20 to send a Bitcoin transaction. For Ethereum's case, it's probably $50. But we do see alternatives. There are other chains, blockchains, like maybe Tron's very cheap. Now Binance has Binance Chain, and Huobi has their own Heco, and Metaverse. Don't forget Metaverse. Metaverse is pretty fast in a second, or it can arrive in minutes, right? And there are applications there, and most important, I wasn't convinced before, but one day I was traveling in Thailand, just on a remote secluded island, right? These fishermen, he took out two mobile phone, all Android phones, right? I was like, why do you need two mobile phones? He said, one for business, the other for family, and all smartphone. I mean, then I realized that yes, blockchain really can help be unbanked, right? All you need is just download an app, then you're going. And I was told that in Canada, a bank, if they want to open a bank account for their client, all the time they spend or all the document or all the paper they did, it takes like $50. The cost is like $50, right? So obviously these banks are not going to open a bank account for those poor fishermen. And I mean, fishermen can transact using phone.
Right.
And that was back then. Now DeFi can. I realized, oh, that's a different level of game, because back then we talk about help the unbanks. Really, we can send money, send transaction, right? Now you're talking about loan and investment, micro investment.
Right.
Let's say let's say someone is doing an interesting business in South Africa. I happen to have $5. Can I invest? Right? That all of a sudden these kind of things that become possible.
Yeah.
So we are up a level. We're up a level. Now, of course, you say, oh, Ethereum transaction fees like $50. Yes. Again, we are in the early stage.
Right.
So I do see that the DeFi will further help the unbanked. Just like early, I'm gonna say this analogy again. Just when Wright brothers invented this the airplane,
right?
They never imagined that everyone can take the world traveling in 100 years. So that the model they created was like really not user friendly, right? And I wouldn't get on that.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. But maybe 100 years later, now we're in the information age. It doesn't take 100 years. It probably take 10 years, and the unbanks will be benefiting from that. I still remember one thing. I don't remember which year, but there was one Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Grameen Bank, the founder of Grameen Bank. The name is Muhammad, and for his endeavor in the micro loan. So the loans in $10, $5. I think this is the future.
What I like and what I see in what I like about the DeFi and the algorithm behind it is, I know the last couple times I've gone to buy a house by myself, the person asking me my information both times literally said, will your husband be on the deed? Like I needed a husband, I needed a man. Even today they were still asking, where's the man? Where's the man? And DeFi takes that away. There's nobody's looking at you and judging you based on your sex, your skin color, where you live, your area code, your zip code. It takes all that out. And that's what I like from that perspective, because you don't need, do you have the asset? Do you have the crypto asset to collateralize the loan or not? And that's it. So Alan, what do you think? Is this the answer to the unbanked?
Well, from a Southeast Asia perspective, the underdeveloped countries are lots of unbanked, and the reason why they're unbanked is because they don't have enough money to save, right?
Right.
They don't make enough. They make enough, and whatever they make, they gotta feed their family. But what DeFi can bring is to be able to onboard themselves onto a additional or alternative financial services, right? So not only these people are don't have enough money, they don't have homes, they probably don't have enough paperwork. They probably won't even pass through KYC, and to go through all that trouble to put in $100 may not be worth it. So
right.
So that's what DeFi can do, is onboard you, just register on MetaMask. It's a quick 1 second, and then deposit some funds, $100, and then earn some interest on Aave.
Right, the fractional investment opportunities as opposed to current traditional where you need to be a accredited investor, or you're coming in at a minimum of $25 or $50 or $250,000. That pretty much eliminates the average Joe, right? So the amazing opportunity in that regard.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we have a question in the chat, and I'm sure you're both going to love this question. And that is, what are some of the projects coming up in the space that you're excited about?
Alan, I saw you have Rosie on at the back. Tell us about it.
So let me talk about Roseon. So Roseon is it's like a DeFi enabler. So DeFi, the idea of DeFi is, or the idea of blockchain and DeFi is self-service. You gotta go onto these DeFi applications and stake or borrow or lend, and you have to be a little bit tech savvy to do that, right? So what Roseon app, what we do is we're a centralized app, but we connect all these DeFi services for you. So all you need to do is set up an account in the app, and then we bring DeFi to you instead of you going out there and hoping that you hit the wrong DeFi service and lose your money on a smart contract failure. We do all that for you. We do the due diligence, and then we do the connectors, and we bring it to your fingertip. That's Roseon app.
Very cool, very cool. And what about Eric? Do you have a project coming up, or is there a project out there that you're looking at, watching, or excited about?
I know quite a bit of new DeFi projects in the pipeline. They just sent it back to me for investment purpose. I did came across some really good ones. People know me, but probably know I'm pretty big on NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So I think you can categorize non-fungible tokens as part of DeFi, or you can put the non-fungible token as a separate category. But to me, non-fungible token is huge. I really like, Audrey, you just mentioned that crypto collateral, that concept is very, very interesting. Let's say in a traditional finance world, you want a loan. The banker asks you what kind of collateralized asset that you have. You have a house, or you have a car, or you have something, right? So in a DeFi space, what kind of collateralized asset that can be taken into account? I would say you have one Bitcoin. Yeah, can I borrow $20,000 collateralize one against my one Bitcoin? Yes, sure, of course, DeFi can do that. But is there any, they call it hard asset? Let's say now we talk about NFTs, right? This NFT can be an intellectual property and can be a picture, and it could be a virtual land on the project called Decentraland or Sandbox. It's a virtual land. Does it have value? Well, if everyone has consensus that the Decentraland has value, then Decentraland has value, just like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, where's Bitcoin? Can you hold it, or can you actually see it? Right? No, but we have a consensus that Bitcoin has value. Then of course Bitcoin has value. So virtual lands in Decentraland or in Sandbox or crypto vassals, do they have value? I think yes. Can you use that as a collateral asset to borrow money? I think yeah. I mean, if you give me 10 Decentraland land, you want to borrow 10 ETH from me, I'll do it. Sure, I'll do it. Right? So, so these kind of project, I think, wow. So not only DeFi, not only NFT, it's like a combination of DeFi and NFT. It's amazing, and that project gonna have its own blockchain, and I think it's just amazing.
So you think at some point I'll be able to, there'll probably be like some oracle or third party that can say, hey, you know what, I want to put my house up. I want to put it into an NFT so I can move it into one of these platforms and borrow money against it or crypto against it. Do you see that real world asset tokenization happening?
I'm actually a little bit hesitant on that. So it probably not gonna happen that fast. Because anything that off chain, I would say off internet, it's pretty hard to to refer back to on chain. So how about let us use the on chain asset first? So we have plenty. If you go to OpenSea, or you say, was it Christie or Southway I think it's Christie.
I think it's Christie's.
Yeah, Christie's. They recently auctioned out an NFT. Was
Right.
like what, $200,000 or something like that. Yeah. Do you think that particular picture has value? Well, can you borrow money against that? I think yeah. Why not? But the real world asset, it's pretty hard. The regulation is not there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What if you double spend that? I mean, double spend meaning you borrow money on chain and you also borrow money from the bank, the traditional bank, right?
True.
Yeah, I don't know. It's infrastructure.
So NFTs, that you think for 2021, is that the big thing, or what do you see happening for DeFi in 2021?
I think DeFi will go parabolic the second half of this year, and close to the winter time, people will start talking about NFTs, because really because all the DeFi really collateralize on USDT or DAI or ETH. By the end of this year, people will think this is boring. You know what I mean? So they were, and by then they will realize, wow, the virtual estate on Decentraland does have a value. Well, can I do something there? Yeah. Then you will see new type of project doing these kind of things, and then all of a sudden you find, oh, this has been done in the financial world, the old traditional financial world.
Right.
Can we do it here? It's easy. It's not that hard. It's not that hard when you really get your mind to it. Yeah.
Alan, what do you think? 2021, what's in store for DeFi?
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of NFT projects using DeFi. So using their token and then applying DeFi to their token. So either staking or using AMMs to do liquidity pools, and then giving rewards in DeFi in NFTs. So it's still DeFi. It's just that the product is not selling insurance or selling interest rate, but selling digital art, right? So like this cool project NFTX, where I think they can collateralize your art, your digital art, for lending. So it's the same thing. It's the Aave of course, it takes only NFT or crypto art as collateral. It's still DeFi.
Yeah, and if you actually think about this, how the DeFi come into being today, it's like crypto holders, right? People just hold on to cryptos. These Bitcoins they hold on to, or the Ether they hold on to. That's not really doing nothing in their wallet, right? So all of a sudden you're telling people, say, if you stake your ETH that you never use, you can get some other ERC20 token. Or say if you wrap your BTC to WBTC, then you can stake your WBTC or your USDT, and I give you some other ERC20 token, namely Uni token. You said Uni token was nothing back then. It's $21 now. Right? So this is how DeFi started, right? So use your token that you're not really using and stake there. We'll give you extra ERC20 token. Then you all of a sudden there was like what do you call this? Don't buy Mimi platform. They said, oh, if you stake your ERC20 token, I'll give you ERC721 token. NFT. That's cool, right?
Right.
So the people say, oh, okay, I'll stake my ERC20 token, get NFTs. Now people start thinking, okay, so ERC20, ERC721. So you stake ERC20, you get ERC20, right? Now you can stake ERC20, you get ERC721. How about, can I stake ERC721 and get ERC20? Or can I stake ERC721 to get another ERC721? So I think the whole DeFi space will move that direction. We're going that way. So very soon it will happen. So just to answer your question, yeah, I think the new DeFi project will go that direction.
So we'll wrap it up with one last question, and it's also a big topic, which is gas fees. Because on one side, I'm like, yay, it's going up in price. Ether, it's going up. And then over here, it's like, oh, the gas fee over here to do a transaction on Rarible or on an exchange. Any comment or any prediction, or when is that going to resolve?
Well, the gas fee complaint is really on Bitcoin and really on Ethereum, ETH, right? So the ETH this morning I checked was $100. If you want to do a swap, $100 for, yeah. If you transact $1 million, then you're willing to pay $100. Still, you probably feel it's still cheap, right? But if you transact $100, right, you pay $100. Solution, second layer. There are really good second layer projects, and these second layer project token price still not very high, so it's good investment opportunity. I'm not an investment suggestion, but yeah, I still think those second layer solution company projects really good. I mean, solution number two, maybe you move to another chain. I mean, if you don't like to pay $100 to transfer your USDT on Ethereum network, then you do it on Tron, TRX, right? Maybe later on, Polkadot is a good solution too. And Binance has its Binance chain, and Huobi has a Heiko chain, and I know OKX started their own exchange chain too. And projects like my Metaverse, little commercial time, also a very good choice too. It's cheap and fast. So it's not, now it's painful enough for the users. Right. So they will switch. If the second layer 2 solution doesn't work well for them, then they will switch. That's, I mean, 2 solutions, layer 2 or switch.
All right, any final notes, Alan?
Yeah, so what we do is, like, when we do a marketing campaign and we got to airdrop $10 and we have to pay $5 in fees, it doesn't make sense. So we tend to do a lot of like ERC, Tron, TRC 20 USDT, right? So same thing with minting digital art, crypto art. Right now it's underdeveloped, but we're hoping that all the other chains, the ecosystem built. So for example, right now we're farming on, Binance chain. We're experimenting Matic, and we're playing around with Polkadot because it's cheaper than gas. And we don't feel like paying $100 for a transaction. So people are going to get fed up with Ethereum if they don't do anything about it. And eventually, the cross-chain movement, people are going to move.
Right. So it'll definitely be an interesting next few months, if not the next year. Anyways, that's wrapping us up. Blockchain 101. Thanks for kicking it off with me, guys. If anyone watching is on Clubhouse, follow Eric Gu, the real Eric Gu. It's going to be a lot of Clubhouse rooms happening with him. I'm at Audrey Nesbitt at Clubhouse, and Alan doesn't have an iPhone. He'll have to wait. Anyhow, thanks guys for joining, and thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you at the next live remote.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.